Okay. Warm wishes to all the viewers for the Fireside chat on COVID-19 and mental health, maintaining sanity and managing emotions. I, Nikhil, founder of Inspire Talks, welcome you over this wonderful chat. Along with our knowledge partners, EnVERT Foundation, represented by Mrs. Rupanjana De, and Aaken Advisory, represented by its founder, Ms. Nehal Thakur, are happy to create awareness during the Mental Health Week 2021. So, EnVERT Foundation is an NGO working generally for upliftment of underprivileged people, especially the women being victims of trafficking and the homeless kids. All around the year, it conducts various programs for encouraging more privileged people uh, and children to develop habit of giving and sharing with the less privileged ones. It also provides easier access to healthcare, being diagnosis, treatment, and preventive measure to reduce health risk. Arcane Advisory is an advisory firm specialized in legal, compliance, and financial advisory, along with nurturing entrepreneurs and independent directors. As its CSR initiative, it contributes toward cancer care and work towards cause of mental health awareness through counseling. Glarepost, an online media platform, is a media partner for this session. Glarepost generates perspective of today's current affairs, making an insightful analysis of policies, politics, business, and ideas. It is aimed at knowledge, awareness, entertainment, and open thinking about things happening around the world. Today's Fat Side Talk shall be covering challenges faced by students, homemakers, working professionals, entrepreneurs, and senior citizens. Now, I would like to invite our first speaker. She is a versatile personality. By professional, she is a practicing company secretary and independent director across multiple boards. By qualification, she is also a lawyer. She has written 11 books and traveled solo across 40 countries. Her articles, as well as interviews, have been published in many national and international magazines and newspapers over the last 20 years. Her books on CSR and her work in this area has brought a special recognition. She is also known for a perfect work-life balance, and hence she is also a home manager. Let us welcome none other than Ms. Rupanjana De, who shall be sharing her views on the topic mood management during current crisis. So, Rupanjana De, welcoming you over the chat. Rupanjana, I guess you have to unmute yourself. You're on mute. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Am I audible now? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the beautiful words. And yes, I'm a professional. I'm a practicing company secretary. Normally in the normal situation, we are busy with our clients and all that. But now, as you see, in the last more than 1 year, we are working from home, balancing both work and family life. And with kids stuck at home doing online classes, and and everybody, the senior, the aged people, I have aged people at home as well. So it's important to take care of the aged people, the children, the peers, the same group, my husband and all. So it is now it is an added responsibility. So I thought, since the very last year, I've been thinking, it's very important that we sail through this very difficult time properly. And now how to do that, if you are in this kind of a situation, you have to be very positive, mentally positive about what things are, what might happen and what is actually happening. So because unless you are positive about what holds, what our future holds for us, it is very difficult to sail through this kind of a difficult situation. So I have always felt that, the importance of managing your mood is it's supreme. And very few people, they know, everybody, all of us have some specialities, some some strong points, some choices, some hobbies, some preferences. So all of us, we know one or two things that keep us happy. But to keep an entire family happy, and to be very positive, very optimistic during these difficult times, we have to ensure many things together. So I'm going to discuss 15 points, very small points, but these are very important things which can help someone, ensure that there is happiness and cheerfulness around you at home. And these are, like, if someone is ensuring these things at home, I'm sure you can stay happy. So first of all, it is very important to exercise, because to stay healthy physically, you have to be healthy mentally. So exercising, I mean, we know, even I don't like to exercise, but I have realized that when you are regularly exercising, you have a fresh mind. You have a fresh mind. You are, on your toes all the time. You are not lazy, and you have a feel good from inside. So although exercising may be, it may not be liked by lazy people, but it actually helps you overcome the laziness. So exercising regularly is very important. Today's situation, you also, that is also important because of the immunity, because you need more immunity. So for exercising, like for example, I walk, and I do a little bit of radio taiso exercises, which are the free hand movement muscle building exercises. So because we are staying at home, we don't have much physical activity. It is all the more important. So everybody should do some kind of exercises. It may be walking, it may be cycling, it may be treadmill at home, it may be any machine, like cycle, stationary cycle, yoga, or zumba, anything. So that is very important. Next is sufficient sleep. Now what I have felt is that if you sleep sufficiently, normally sufficiency of sleep is said to be in the range of 7 to 8 hours. But I know there are many people who feel healthy even with lesser sleep. But whatever is your standard number of hours for sleep, good sleep, you should target that. But in my case, it is 7 to 8 hours, because with a good sleep, your mood is, your mind is relaxed, your body is relaxed, and you have a good mood. And try to, talking about sleep, try to avoid sleeping in the daytime. Daytime naps sometimes can be very depressing. When you wake up, especially if you wake up around sunset time, I know many people have mood swings, if they have a daytime nap, because now we are at home, we have the time to take a daytime nap, siesta, so to say. So this can be sometimes very depressing. So that should be avoided. Nighttime sleep is more important. Now, next is eating a balanced, healthy diet. Now, some of us are vegetarians, some are non-vegetarians, but whatever be our food choice, we should ensure that we are including all kinds of nutrients in our food, like proteins, or like zinc and potassium and magnesium, like whatever we need at the moment, all kinds of vitamins, calcium, iron, because now, more than ever, we need all these nutrients now. And some people are trying to supplement their diet with ready-made solutions, like some drinks, some health drinks, and some tablets. So that is okay, but the main more main nutrition should come from the food. So more vegetables, if you are a non-vegetarian, so more proteins in the form of chicken and fish and all that. So whatever suits you, there should be more protein from the actual food and less. And after that, if you feel some supplements in the form of medicines, that is okay. But medicines can never replace the real organic food. Next is watching good movies. Now I know all of us are, spending a lot of time on Netflix and Amazon Prime and all the, like web series and movies. And there are beautiful and brilliant movies and web series now. So thanks to these, platforms, these Netflix and Amazon Prime and all that, our time has somehow flowed smoothly over the 1 year. But now people are actually, getting bored and tired of the life in at home in shackles and all that. But we know we still have a few more months to start feeling independent. So we should keep watching good movies, and we should avoid movies with sad ending, because ultimately in this situation it is affecting our mood. So before you go, you choose something, that just see what is the, what is the ending of that particular movie. So that is also important. Now what I am doing to keep myself happy with movies and all that is that, I love traveling. As Nikhil already mentioned, I have traveled to 40 countries. Now Nikhil, let me tell you, in the last 1 year I have traveled without visa to 80 countries. Okay, now how is that? I've been
Wow.
watching I've been watching all those, all those 3D, 4D, high resolution walking tours around the world in different countries. So you find them on YouTube and all the platforms, and it's such a, it really gives me so much enjoyment that I'm visiting cities I've never been to, and I don't feel like, running away from this life now, because I'm enjoying this virtual tour also. So whatever you like, you may like music, you may like match sports, you may like movies, you may like web series. I also like web series based on sports. I like, because I love sports very much. So but now today, in today's world, I don't like watching live sports, because that looks unreal to me. So what I like watching is movies based on sports and these walking tours. So there will be so many things that each person will be able to identify with. So that should be that should also be a mood enhancer. Now next is avoiding stress, because we all know, like we are taking, all of us are taking stress in this situation. We are worrying about what will happen to the world, what will happen to our jobs, what will happen to our family, what will happen to us. Now to avoid this kind of stress and to feel happy, everybody needs a stress buster. Now for everyone there is something which is a stress buster. I know, like Nikhil said, on weekends he does this inspired talk and all that. I'm sure this is his stress buster. He must be having something else also. For me, like whenever there is the most, like difficult time, I feel most stressed, I cook. I love cooking. So I love cooking. Like I have other hobbies also, but for me the biggest stress buster is cooking. Because why? Because I'm a foodie also. So at the end of the cooking, I'm going to eat that beautiful food also. So I have some good thing going on in my mind. So I get relief from stress by cooking. So everybody can do it. Somebody can do painting, someone can do like singing. Singing is a good stress buster. Dancing, it helps you exercise, come stress busting also. So there can be so many. Even some people are so creative, they have some very unique things for getting relief from their stress. So that should be followed. Now this coming to the sixth one is I'm sure Nehal is going to speak more much in detail about that. That is expressing yourself to others. Now since you are stuck inside the four walls of your house now, it is important to talk to people. I mean, don't feel lonely. Talk to your family members. If you are staying alone for whatever reason, then it is important to talk to your family and friends over phone in whatever way possible. That is very important, because now in normal day-to-day basis we used to meet hundreds of people every day. Now we are hardly meeting 4 to 5 people. If we keep ourselves away from those people also, that is going to impact our health, physical health as well as mental health. So that is very important. And another one, the seventh one, I have always felt, it's not specific to this pandemic. This has been part of my life ever since I was a student. Music. Now, I always have some good music playing lightly in my office, at my home, everywhere, even when I'm cooking, when I'm painting, when I'm working, except when I'm in a meeting, when I'm in a seminar or webinar, fireside talk like that, except that time, I always have some music. So we all have some music preferences. So everybody should, try to avoid sad songs now, because we know for obvious reasons we should avoid. Like I like ghazals, but now sometimes I'm not playing ghazals because ghazals sometimes sound very sad. So I'm playing more classical music, more instrumental. I'm playing a lot of Kenny G. That reminds me of corporate world, like because offices
Yes.
most have Kenny G playing in the background. So I feel happy with that at the moment. That is my choice. But otherwise, I love sad songs. But now I'm not playing that. So that is also important. The choice of music, choice of movies, choice of books, everything is very important. Now, the eighth one, I'm going to elaborate a little because very few people know about this. This is aromatherapy. Now, I was in Germany. I was doing my master's degree in Germany when I came to know it from there, and then I could relate to some experiences in my life. Um, First of all, like I had this problem of sinusitis. Okay, so I have never realized that some kind of smells gives me a headache. No, I didn't realize that much. Because if a particular smell is giving you a headache, that means it is somehow affecting you, and that smell is not bad for others. For example, agarbatti, like incense sticks, they give me a headache. But agarbatti, okay, I know they are also harmful in the long run, but normally it doesn't give in instant headache to someone, but it does give to me. So I used to avoid agarbatti. So similarly, smell of petrol and smell of many other lavender, smell of lavender used to give me a headache. So, and the smell of sandalwood, chandan, was very soothing for me. So I knew about this, and I used to have I used to avoid these kind of smell that used to give me headache, just for the reason of my sinusitis. But I never realized that it can lift up your mood also if particular aroma is suiting you, then it can actually lift up your mood also. And when did I realize this? I realized this when I was in Germany. Now, what happened? I was living with a German family there, and I saw that in their dining table, in the drawing room, they had this dining table also, and on the dining table they had a bowl, and on the bowl they had cinnamon sticks, very thick, dalchini. Dalchini they used to have, and it was, the whole house was filled with the smell of this darchini because it was open, it was not in a jar. And I didn't know, whenever I used to cook, I used to just break a piece from there and put it
Yes.
into my cooking and all. But that was okay. I mean, that became an ingredient in my food also, but that whole bowl was always there. So one day I asked this girl, with whom I was living, I asked her, like, why do you put it? And she said it actually lifts up my mood, because if I don't have it, I cannot. I mean, she was an architect. So she said that I cannot draw because I need some good smell, and I avoid the chemical ones. I don't buy the chemical ones. I have some good flour or some, this kind. And then I realized, yes, actually, because there, when I was there, I was staying alone, away from my family. And that mood, that smell was actually lifting me up also. So when I came back to India, I introduced this, like whenever, I used to have some kind of smell around when I'm not feeling well, mentally, when I'm not feeling well. So as I said, I have always avoided lavender, but rose and sandalwood and cinnamon and cardamom. So these are some smells that can lift you up. Now you can relate when you are on a tour and you go to a plantation, spice plantation, or some people even in coffee, breweries, there is some kind of a smell hanging around, and you really feel good, instantly feel refreshed. So in this situation, when you are stuck inside homes, it is very important to work on this aromatherapy and see what is suiting you, what kind of a smell is actually enhancing your mood, and you should try doing that. So another one, the ninth one is, of course, spending time with our hobbies. I know most of us are doing that now. We are spending some time with hobbies, so that is all the more important now. It is also important to bring back long lost old hobbies which we have once we had, but now we are not following. So it is also important. And the 10th one is laugh a lot. Laughing is very important. Now you should have some people need some help in laughing, like watch comedy shows, watch comedy movies, think about real life jokes, past incidents that made you happy. So that is something very important. You have to laugh it out. It is not only mood enhancer, it actually is also very good for health, physical health. So, and that's why we have so many laughing clubs. So now it is, nobody is able to go out, so at home it is very important to practice. 11th one is counting your blessings. Most of us, like even my sister, I know she's always feeling depressed, and she's in Mumbai. She's feeling what will happen to us and all that. So I keep on telling her, even see the positive sides. At least you have your kid with you, your husband with you, you have a job, and you are able to read, and you have a television, you have a computer, you have so many good things. There are so many people whose family is affected, who's who don't have house, who don't have a television at home, who have lost their jobs. So think about the good things that are there in your life, and that is automatically going to lift you up. That is very important. Reading good books and avoiding books with sad ending is very important. I'm sure Tanisha will be able to speak more on that. Next is the 13th one is being kind to others. Now I've seen in this situation, I wonder why people are after each other on social media. If you watch, go to social media, people are continuously bullying
So
each
true.
other. Completely wrong thing to do in normal situation also, and definitely in this kind of a pandemic situation is definitely very wrong thing to do. Be positive yourself, help someone else also to be positive. You never know, that person is under depression, and if that person has posted something which you don't like, just avoid commenting, but don't bully that person, don't troll him or her. And this applies to politicians also, like you don't do, it's not the time for
Yes,
politics,
yes.
it's not the time for politics, it's time for friendship, it's not the time for competition, it's time for being happy with each other. Next is the 14th point is, of course, spending time with family. Now when we, after maybe few months or a year, when the pandemic is over, let me tell you, we are going to miss this time. Today we are not able to realize the importance of this time, but a year hence we are going to miss this time, because the amount of liberty and the blessings that we have got because of this pandemic, to be at home, take rest and do whatever we want, and spend time with family, and like this is not going to come back again. So if we spend this time worrying and not enjoying this part, then this is going to be another matter of repent in future. So you should spend more time with family, gossiping, and having tea together and joking together and all that. And last point which I want to mention, of course, is avoid negative news and social media forwards, which is very important. Like today there are many companies, I mean, most of us are working from home. There are many people who are working from home only for creating fake news. Now maybe Nikhil is aware, Nehal, I don't know if you're aware, but because that is also a parallel industry, creating fake news,
Yes, it's a business these days,
is a
right?
parallel industry. So creating things, cartoons that you relate to at the moment, relate to in the sense that we don't have freedom, we are so unhappy and all that. So that is a situation we can relate to now. So there are some people who are making money out of it, but what we are doing is, by looking at these forwards and jokes and whatever, we are feeling more down. So it is important to avoid these kind of social media forwards, because you can just have a look, one word, read one word, and then you realize this is not for me. So go ahead, ignore that. Same with the Facebook post and everywhere. So these are the 15 points. All of them, I think, are very important to maintain. Depending upon person to person, there may be so many other things, so many other mood enhancers for everyone, but I mean, because we have limited time, so I thought these are the most important things that I should mention. And I would like to, end here, but I would like to request everyone to follow these 15 points in your life, and not just now, these will continue even after the pandemic. And so this will keep you happy, mentally healthy, and of course, physically healthy.
Thank you so much, Rupanjana. It was more of a life lesson rather than just how to help your mood during the crisis. So
Yeah.
amazing points, starting from the sleep till the breakfast, dinner, lunch, to
Mhm.
listening music, aromatherapy, everything was so true. And adding to the point of social media, I did an experiment few days back, which I'll be sharing at the end. So thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Um, Our next speaker is a very senior and seasoned personality. She is a master of social works and loving homemaker. With her counseling skills of more than 4 decades, she had guided people facing mental health challenge before and during COVID, especially students. So let us welcome our senior most speaker, Mrs. Beena Thake, who will be speaking on the topic family bonding in new normal. So welcome to the show, Beena. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you very much. Dear friends, as a family counselor, I work with many students and their families. That time, challenge was students and their studies. Due to COVID-19, situation has changed. We are all indoors in fear and no social contact. So many are getting depression and adjustment problems. Families who lost their dear ones are in grief and need social support. How we can do that? First of all, in home, work together, distribute work to everyone. Small children will also help in their own capacity. Make it a point to have lunch and dinner sitting all together as everybody is at home. Fix some time in evening to sit together and meditate or do some prayer. For others who are not with you, call and talk to loved ones. Listen to them. Tell them, I love you and respect you, and we are all with you during this testing time. Ask them to talk about their pleasure memories. Tell them you are there anytime they need, you will be there with them. This will help them to come out from fear zone to confidence. Once they get confidence, they can learn few new things and also feel happy. I will share my experience at home. I sat with children and prepared family tree where they have enjoyed knowing family history. Many of my friends' children are abroad. My children help them to get things, taking them to hospital and talking to them every day to know that they are not alone. Zoom meeting was great help. I lost my sister and sister-in-law in COVID. Everybody was in shock and feeling helpless. I organized Zoom meeting for 13 days and we prayed together, which helped all of the family members to bear the loss. We created one Gita group also, where once in a week we chanted Gita and supported each other to face the situation. Like this, everybody should find out way to come out and be all together, helping each other will come out from the situation. Wish you all the best time ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for such kindful words, Beena. And these times, yes, we need to be connected. It is so true that without getting connected with your family and friends, it's going to be very bad time. So this is the one thing which we can do, and yes, Zoom is helping us out in all the ways. So again, thank you so much for being on the show. uh, Friends, I'm aware many viewers are belonging to Generation Z, who have now accepted or are enjoying the new digital normal as a reality. But maybe knowingly or unknowingly, we are victims of loneliness, anxiety pangs, depression, or other side effects of the real life, not the real life. And this real life belongs to the digital era. So we have with us talented and genius Miss Tanishtha Nandi, who belong to Generation Z. Tanishtha is our youngest speaker and is just 14 years old. She is a student of class 10th at Indus Valley World School in Kolkata. She's an avid reader and passionate about writing. At age of 10, she became the youngest novelist of India with when her book The Secret of Goldberg Castle was published. At 12, she published yet another book, The City of Mysteries. Both these books and a collection of her stories are available on Amazon. Before and during the pandemic, Tanisha also has won many story writing competition across India and has been interviewed and written by the Telegraph, the Statesman, and the Times of India. Currently, she is penning a few more new books. So, Tanisha, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
So, Tanisha, uh, how is your online class going on? And how are you maintaining touch with your friends, means being apart and still being together?
Well, online class is, of course, at the beginning of the day, the highlight, and maintaining touch with my friends, it's mainly WhatsApp and Instagram now. But for someone as introverted as me, it's a little difficult. And during a brief period in the middle, when the cases had dimmed, we met a few times, maintaining all the safety measures, of course.
Amazing, amazing. So, what are you doing to pass your leisure time at home? And are you doing some activity online or offline these days?
Well, nowadays there is nothing but leisure time. If you perhaps ask me what I did when I was not passing my time leisurely, then we would be able to maintain our time limit. I write all the time, every day. It has become as much an indispensable part of my routine as brushing my teeth or even breathing. Apart from that, I occasionally paint and hang from the rails of the stairs. Oh, and read. I've read 8 books this year so far, and I'm really proud of it because there was a point last year when I had completely grown out of my reading habit in the lockdown. And I stitch and do paper cutting, which I learned during the lockdown. I've started learning a lot of things this lockdown. Tell you what, but this might just be the only thing I have to some extent not abandoned. Long ago, once upon a time, we started to learn Japanese and French. I learned cycling, but I practically lost practice. Started knitting, learned to play Happy Birthday on the harmonica, embroidered a panda and a mushroom, learned one strumming pattern on the ukulele. I also started horse riding and archery, but the classes are on hold at the moment because of this devastating wave. Oh, and one achievement I'm really proud of is that I learned to whistle. So now I can signal to my snoring dad to stop snoring without actually waking him up.
Amazing, amazing, amazing to hear about that. So, what does your normal day look like? How do you fit so many activities in a day? How do you manage that? And what is your advice for generation X as well as Y as well as Z, if I ask you?
First, there's online class, of course, starting it all. After class, after class is over, it's lunchtime. Then it really depends on how I'm feeling that day. I don't have a fixed routine or anything. I write it every day. So if there's time, then I do a few of the things that I've learned. Most of the times I don't, and do some homework. I hang from railings. I scooter around the house and annoy my parents. You know, the usual. And well, I don't think I have any advice to give, strictly speaking, or if I'm the right person to. But one thing I would like to say is that don't let these walls around you in the confines of your house or your mind restrict you. You're not alone. These are hard times for everybody. It just depends on how you handle it. Remember, the same hot water that boils the potato hardens the egg.
So true, so true. So, coming to the literature part of your life, tell us about your books and your passion for writing. Tell us about what are your plans ahead.
I have two books published, The Secret of the Goldberg Castle and The City of Mysteries, which are both available on Amazon. I wrote them when I was really young, 10 and 12 respectively, I think. So a lot of my style has evolved and more since then. And for writing, you see, there's this wonderful word in Spanish. It's kind of a metaphysical concept, really, called querencia. Literally, it's the place in the bullfighting ring where the bull takes its stand, where it feels most secure, safe, and at ease. And that's what it means, not literally as well, omitting the bull and the ring. Writing for me is the place where I can be true to myself, away from the worldly anchors of chocolate cake or pizza. It's how I express myself, it's how I get to know myself. And currently, I'm writing a standalone, and it's making progress quite fast, I'd like to think. I've convinced myself that I finished my first draft at 1,09,406 words, and now I'm editing a lot leisurely than I would prefer.
Super amazing, and as well as inspiring. So I'd say that these things, the lines you said, will inspire multiple kids like you, as well as adults like me and others on the panel. And let's see how this pandemic ends, and hope your online classes end soon and you get to meet your friends and teachers. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Nikhil, we cannot hear you. We cannot hear you, Nikhil.
Okay, sorry. So, friends, now after understanding preventive measures to remain mentally healthy in a new normal from our speakers from different generation, let us deep dive on the topic: what is depression, what are its symptoms, and how to seek help with the real life story of our speaker. A lady with a vibrant smile and having successful career and a venture which is going today which is going to today reveal the darker side of her life and how she suffered from the depression and how she faced it. Then, so let's welcome Ms. Nehal Thakur, a woman entrepreneur, founder of Aaken Advisory, legal mentor, who has more than 2 decades of experience as a key managerial personnel in reputed companies. A lady who is passionate to nurture women director, work for the cause of spreading awareness for preventing cancer, and has become vocal to convey it's okay not to be okay. So, Nehal, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'll be asking you a few questions and would love to know your insights on them.
Sure.
So, Nehal, tell us about the trigger point of you going into depression. How was the same detected?
Yeah. So let me go back to some stories few decades back. Like Kanishta, I was a very bright student in 10th, and I could have gone into science, but I took commerce. And after 12th, I opted for company secretarieship course. So I wanted to become a MBA, but that was a new course. I opted for that. I got a rank in that, and success was like my second habit. So I was passing each module also along with my BCom. So only one module was left, which I appeared after my BCom, and I thought that everything is sorted. Now I can go for a training. I luckily got a training in a reputed company just a week before our results. Many people who will be hearing, means who are CS, know that our results are on 25th August. So that year, 25th August 1998, it was not a my day. The results were declared, but I failed. I failed for the first time in my life. And people will say, okay, it's okay, miss. So many people have digested the failure, and it happens in the professional exam. So my friends and family gave me that advice, but I was very sad and very means that time I would not use the word depressed, but I was very sad and again repeating that how can I fail. I was not able to digest it. Still they felt okay, she's working, she has a new office, and so at least I was going to office, but I was not myself. I was not talking too much and all, and it was going on. Still, my family felt that okay, right now she is not studying because she has a office burden. So in her studies leave, she will study, and she is getting at least adequate 30 days leave. But what happened? I was not able to concentrate on my studies. I didn't like my books. Law was becoming like very burdensome for me, and like Rupanjana ji had lot of hobbies for me. Whenever it is an exam, except books, I don't do any other activity. So it was more problematic. I will open the book, but I was not reading. There was a lack of concentration and I was sleeping more. But still, my family was not realizing too many things, and I was also going. So that exam, I appeared, but it was more like a robo. I went there and gave the papers, but I was not gave my 100%. I was also not realizing what is going wrong, but I knew that this exam I will not pass. So then things were again well in office and all. I had taken LLB also, so I took LLB exam and I passed just in a 1 day study. So that was my caliber. But again, June attempt came, and same phobia of studying these law books, and some weird things happened. I started counting days 1 day earlier, and scribble. When my mom told that now at least last day is there, you write a paper, test paper. So I started scribbling something very weird, and I was not even able to even write with my normal speed and all. So they thought there is something wrong. They consulted some doctor, and he gave me medicines for mainly to calm my mind and have proper sleep. They decided that let's keep this exam, which was like again I was not able to digest that I have studied and I am not giving my exams. And I was talking and talking and sharing my stories, but fine. After 5 10 days, everything was good. Then again, episode came. My mother met with an accident, and that time it was like we had to take her care. But it was again an anxiety to me and a fear, false fear. What will happen to money? We are alone at home. Somebody will steal the money. Please save my mother. And it was like everything was overwhelmed feelings. So my family felt that things are not going right. At one place they had to take care of my mother, but they had thought that she also needs some medication, and instead of going to some astrologer or something, means that Rahu Ketu is having a problem or Saraswati is going, they thought that she needs a medication. And they found a doctor who is a psychiatrist but who treated with a homeopath. So my dad always believed that too many medicines are not needed. So he went to a homeopath. So that way, my failure was the trigger, and this way we detect. My parents could detect that something is wrong.
Nice. Means it's great that they detected it. And so, from the detection part, during your difficult phase, what was the role played by your parents and the close friends? Uh, I
Yeah. So as you know, it takes long time to. I means in homeopathy, it takes long time to understand your history. So, and I was not in a state of my mind to tell everything. So my father will write the diary every day, the pattern from time I have got up, what I have eaten, whether there is a loss of appetite or what I'm liking to eat. Like, I will not like to eat ghar ka dal chawal, but if some outside idli is coming or something is coming, I may eat. On how much I'm sleeping, because I was sleeping for more than 8 to 10 hours in the day. Sometimes again the mood irritations or something, so he will write each and everything. Mom was also helping me to give the medication on time, and food and everything. So they were all taking care, and they were constantly talking to doctors every week after week. I was also going, but they had played a major part. And they will question them also that, okay, this medicine is there, but this has a side effect, or it is not working on her. Okay, so based on the feedback, doctor will also change the medicine or the potency. And after 45 days to 90 days, they came to a conclusion that, okay, uh, yeah, she is suffering from acute depression, and what can be the medicines. After few time, the medicines also been changed or the potency changed, so they played a lot, a very big role. And at that time, I was totally cut off from outside world. There was no hobby, there was nothing except sleep and food. There was nothing in my life. And either the old patterns, or like Rupanjanaji told, if sometime if I'm in a good mood, I will watch some movies, or that time like Kapil Sharma show, it was movers and shakers. It was a laughing show, so I was just watched that. Uh, Otherwise, sad movies and all, I will not relish. So then I started understanding, okay, there is some problem. They have not told me what exactly the terminology, but I started understanding there is a problem. And my friends were away. Majority of them were married and settled in other cities or places, or busy in their offices, work life. But once I started understanding my problem, there were few close friends whom I can confide that they were also very supportive, and whenever I need help, they were just a phone call away.
So, means nice that you started coping up with everything. And based on the experience, can self-help books, meditation help a person undergoing depression, or you advise them to visit a therapist or a doctor?
Yeah, so here I will just come to a broad that what is depression. So see, if you are having means somebody who is lost of means there is a failure like me, or loss in relationship, love break, or loss of near and dear ones, which is now so many of us are facing in the COVID times, sometimes prenatal pregnancy. So these are the main causes of depression. And if you feel that you are having lot of sleep, it's not a laziness. You know, it is really you cannot get up. You don't have energy. There is a loss of appetite. You don't like doing anything. Either you have too much anxiety pangs, or small fears, unseen means unimaginary fears, or too much of a anger or something, which is lasting for more than 10 to 15 days. Okay, then it is a acute depression. And I will say that in that time, yeah, you talk to a therapist or a psychiatrist. Right now in our country, people are not accepting to go to a psychiatrist immediately, but I will recommend you if you are you or your near and dear ones. And sometimes what happens that you are not able to identify the changes in yourself, but your near and dear ones will be able to identify. So you guys sit together, and then you can take a proper help of a right doctor or a counselor. And if it is not acute, then of course the self-help book or meditation can help, or positive thinking book. Otherwise it is just a bandage treatment. So in acute cases, I will recommend a person to go to a doctor or a psychiatrist. Otherwise, yeah, you can survive or you can come out of this like Rupanjana ji ma'am have told. If you follow that 15 habits, you can surely come out of it. Sure.
True. So, Nehal, as you told that you were working those days, means post your examination, did depression affect your work life?
Yeah, so that depression, that 2 to 3 years period was acute. So that time I had to take a break, and along with that, I was clearing my CS and LLB exam. So by from 1998 to 2001 was a bad phase. But then when I got a means afterwards, things were stabilized, and I was on a homeopathy and normal potency medicine. So once I got a job, say from 2005, I was working with a reputed organization, and things were well. I worked there with for 10 years, and except my main boss, main managing director, nobody knew that I was suffering from this illness. And my work was very accurate. There was no mistakes. I was able to finish the deadlines. Yeah, sometimes when there was multiple work, I was not able to cope up. So, and because I was in charge of 2 to 3 departments of the work, so that time I had to confide to him, and I said, sir, I'm not able to cope up with so many things. So he told, okay, don't worry, you handle two portfolios. I will be taking one portfolio from you. So yeah, I had, along with my family, I had very supportive seniors or boss who helped me in my organization also. So, but one issue was that I was not able to get up, some when some episodes was there. So every time, instead of going at 9 o'clock, I will reach little late and all. But due to my work, it was being considered. Yeah, there was some issue or the consequences in the grading, and sometimes during some episode, my colleagues may have or have faced the my anxiety pangs. So heads off to them that they have tolerated with me because I was at a senior position, and they were at a receiving end. But they have really accommodated my mood swings, and we have achieved all the targets together. So thanks to them also, along with my family, friends, and my doctors. So my office
Amazing,
colleagues.
amazing. True, true that we need leaders more than managers. Managers sort of say push needle on you, whereas leaders help you to get through the way. So we need leaders like that. So apart from medicines and support from family, friends, bosses, and everyone, what were the activities you were doing? A few activities which help you get over that.
So, like I told, because it was acute that time, medication was needed, and even though I was advised you do some hobby, I was not able to do. But belonging to a spiritual family, again I started with meditation. It was really helping me, but sometimes, yeah, I was again not regular in that. Good music helped me, and I loved food. So food also used to elevate my mood. Talking to friends, and like Rupanjana Day ma'am always told that you should do the physical exercise. That was waking in my life. Okay, but that challenge also I took last year, and I lost 20 kgs, and now I'm feeling very positive about myself. Uh, Develop the self love, and now I can say that yeah, all is well in my life. And now I'm like ready to share my experience with people, because I now know that after working for 20 years, when I started with the entrepreneurial journey, there are so many entrepreneurs who are also facing this kind of a lonely journey or maybe in a depression. So it is good to share and help them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Neil. It was amazing listening to your story, the ups and downs, the roller coaster ride goes on. And means I can conclude this in a sentence that where there is will, there is way. So you find that way. That was good. So thank you again. And I'd like to thank all the speakers again. And takeaway from all the speakers from today's session will be like, eat healthy, deep breathe and intake more, uh, do more pranayams and all, and indulge in creativity, spend quality time with your family and friends, seek help of counselor, doctors immediately if you observe any symptoms of depression or say anxiety. Do some physical exercise, write journal, they help you reflect. uh, Read good books, confiding with a family member or loyal friend or anyone you trust upon, and they're trustworthy, of course. And count your blessings and think optimistically. I would say, rather than only optimistic, be hopelessly optimistic. It will open new horizons for you. Help others fight their problems, and this will minimize your own problems. I have applied it in my life so many times. While solving someone else's problem, I find out solution for my own. Be good to others and use social media prudently. Avoid seeing negative news and forwards all the time. So I again thank all the speakers across all the generations for being vocal on the topic of mental health awareness, which was or is still considered a taboo in our society. Let's pray that all humanity remain physically, emotionally, and mentally fit. If you would like to share your stories regarding your mental health, your youth life stories, the success stories, the failure stories, you can DM me at the rate Janikil19 or any place related to Inspire Talks. In case you require counseling, uh, senior counselor Mrs. Beena Dhake shall be happy to help you, and you can write to them at connect@arcaneadvisory.com. Do follow our rockstar Tanishta's Insta page @Tanishta Nandi for update on her new books. Remain healthy and spread the smile as always. And as suggested by Rupanjana, do all those 15 set of habits to be always cheerful and emotionally fit. So again, thanking you all and concluding this fireside chat.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Okay.
you, Nikhil, and thank Nehal and Veena ji, Tanisha, all of you. It was a nice chat show.
Thank you so much.